Flat Earth, the apparent sunset. So we've been told this. An effect called refraction makes the sun appear above the horizon well past sunset. Well past sunset. So this sun's already gone down. Apparently, I mean, it's kind of like, as they're saying, as the globe model requires it to do so. This is already set. This is just an optical illusion. This is another example of where you can't trust your own senses, because this is set, apparently. So here's the argument. Like a rough argument, I suppose, and stuff, that kind of thing. But it doesn't look that out for what they're trying to say. It's like you got your apparent sun, so that's what it looks like in the sky. It's like way up here, but the sun rays is like way down here. And so that's not far off from the previous picture. You know what I mean? In terms of like, if that's already set, then it must be down. You know what I mean? It must be like, it's because it's out of your line of sight, and the only thing that's making it in sight is the so-called refraction story, right? So as I look back here and stuff, you can see how it's describing it. It's a bit, hold on. There you go. So, like, it comes into the atmosphere and then starts to curl. But the straight line to the sun is, like, even below the so-called curvature. Which, I'd like to come back to this one, actually. But we'll go along with our idea at first. So, we get pictures like this. So... and the previous picture will be Arctic Circle. So here, it's like, is this an apparent sun and it's already gone behind the curvature? Or is this one alright? You know what I mean? Is this one high enough in the sky, close enough? You know what I mean? Or high enough in the sky for the globe model. For it to be a true line of sight to the sun. No apparency, no optical illusion. That's genuine. Because when does it change? Because it's like it's a smooth... There's no, like, sudden... You know what I mean? Like, any optical change of where it'd start to be refracting more. And then suddenly, you know what I mean? Then... because it killed. You just wouldn't do this. There'd be some sort of change. So, like, how do I discern whether this is an apparent sun or the real sun? How do I discern that? Is that real, or is that too far away now? Is that like behind the curvature? Because of how the globe model's asking for that information. Need more examples and stuff like. That's not too bad. Would they all be in line of sight? Because it's like, if that one goes down a little bit further, would it then be an apparent sun? You know what I mean? Would that be like too far? It's like, look at that. Look how that is in the sky, kind of thing. That can't be behind the Earth's curvature. But when does it change? When does it change to... Is that behind the Earth's curvature? Any of them? You know what I mean? Because it's like... Where is this apparent sun? Where is the truth of it? See, look at these. You see, if it's the apparent sun, should we even get a reflection on the water? They're all supposed to be behind the curvature. Is that what the globe's really saying? So this is another aspect of it. Like I mentioned with Moon Video, see this line, right? So you've got your straight line to the sun, right? So that's where the sun sets on a flat Earth, because this is where we're stood here, right? So ignore globe now, right? Now that's flat. And this is what direction that sun is, because it's maybe that's not the apparent sun, that's like the real location, but because of atmospheric squashing it down over that period and stuff, kind of thing, like as it gets further away, it appears down here. So the apparent position is the true position. You know what I mean? If you flip it around like that, it kind of makes sense. Because, like, it's always above the horizon, isn't it? So once it goes away, you know what I mean? It's out of your perspective line, and you just can't see it anymore. And all the the downward direction of refraction does kind of suffocate the light from getting any further, to use a word. But so anyway, right? So like I was saying with Moon, I mentioned Sun anyway on Moon one, when it comes to this. So right, where this is an optical illusion where we're seeing the sun, right? So going back onto the globe version, right? So where this curvature is, right? So this is the straight line at sun, and it hits the Earth there, right? So there's all this curvature blocking your actual line of sight according to the globe model, right? So this part is the edge of that Earth, right? That should cause a termination line for the shadow. So where the sun sets, it should be, we should see a shadow of the Earth come up beyond the horizon, and then the elevated sun, because they're saying the sun is lifted up, so the sun should have never set on the horizon according to this upward refraction rule. And we should have a shadow of Earth in the sky, and then the apparent sun setting within that shadow. Do you know what I mean? We've got an example of it with clouds like that. It's just we haven't got an example of the sun doing it because we live in a flat plane and not a globe with all these stupid, silly ideas that we've got about the sun setting behind. And you're not actually seeing, you can't trust your senses, basically. You know what I mean? It's another example of it. And so, yeah, you know what I mean? It's kind of creating these shadows and stuff like, it'd do that to Earth as well, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? So then the sun would set on the shadow of whichever one, and maybe it'd have two sunsets. Maybe that's because it's a cloud and not one solid surface, kind of thing. So, food for thought. You know, more questions of it and stuff like, you know, the validity of what I'm saying and stuff, that kind of thing, needs to be questioned and all that kind of thing. I'm open to everything that people have got to say about it and stuff like that. So I want like evidence of like time lapses, of time lapse to show this, like this upward refraction. You know what I mean? From it being a sun which is real to the apparent sun. Is it, what evidence have we got of that to support the globe? Obviously, you know, you'd see it. Like I say, you'd see the shadow of the Earth once it goes behind it and stuff like that kind of thing, and it's not happening. So, so thank you for watching. I'll catch you all later. Cheers.